Love, light, greetings, gratitude, blessings, blessings, beautiful soul family. My divinity to yours. Welcome and welcome back. I thank you for your love, light and support, your appreciation and participation, our uniting light, joining hands and hearts and intentions across the planet, wherever we are, to express our care and share, our work and wisdom, to lift and uplift Mother Gaia and all her inhabitants. I thank you, Divine Spirit thanks you, and together we love you. A happy birthday to all Geminis. If you're celebrating today, yesterday, the day before, any time last week, this week, or during the month, I wish you from the bottom of my heart and the core of my being that you are blessed and haloed and protected in your personal new year, and always and forever thereafter. And with that, I bless everyone that is part of this beautiful family. Thank you. Today is the 29th of May 2024. Our energy vibration is 6, which is the Lover's card in Major Tarot, speaking of love. In many ways, but significantly in an unconditional energy frequency. I have channeled energy on unconditional love from Divine Masters. I have spoken about unconditional love as little nuggets during readings, and if you are with me for a long time, you understand how important this particular energy is for me and for this platform and for the work we are doing to raise divine consciousness. But I will expand on a little bit of the energy of unconditional love, specifically in the season of Gemini, in another pod. And I do encourage you not just to pay attention to the royal readings, but to work through the divine playlist that I have, for the reasons that when a lot of the dust has settled in worldly matters, in global matters, the focus and attention will then be on your personal matters. So yes, we want to know what's going on in the world events. We want to know specifically with the royal family, because they are very much in the network throughout the world. They have ties, they have links, connections. They are woven and interwoven in a very direct and indirect way throughout the world, and have been for centuries. So we cannot pretend it doesn't exist, it is not there. It is. We are just more conscious of it in this timeline because of technological advancement, that we all have become conscious in knowing and receiving information, as opposed to in the past relying on just media, be it mainstream or written, right? Meaning newspapers and magazines, etc. But I do encourage you to get active in improving yourselves, because there's a lot of things happening, and energetically it is already templated, it is ordained, it is about now time in the physical for its manifestation. So when things are happening, you will not sit there feeling helpless and hollowed and insecure and of course fearful. And then what you are doing without knowing it is generating all of that human emotion and thrusting it up like a fountain out of you straight into the mouths and bellies of the dark. And that is a feast. I encourage those that have not listened to the part 1, 2, and 3 of 3D Matrix into 5D. And of course, I have given you a little bit about cloning. And there is another part 4 coming in to give you a little bit more information. But you cannot listen to part 4 if you've not worked your way up from the others. Part 1 and 2, I give you a lovely visual meditation to go through to help empower yourself and prepare yourself for the other intense parts. So there's a lot of tools and techniques and benefit from the work that I'm doing here. And it is to help us all get through these difficult times. I am now reading on an article that was published 2 days ago in the National World. I'm not sure if that is an online website or an actual newspaper outlet or some form of media, by Tom Morton on the 27th of May. And the headline is Princess of Wales surrounded by birth family and heading to Sandringham may not be seen for the rest of the year. Straight away, I know what that is about, right? And a lot of you do. It's a diversion, it's a distraction. It is a lot of things to keep energy buoyant, to keep some kind of sprouting out there, to throw a little nugget, to get everybody in a kind of anxiety and apprehension and questioning and a whole lot of human emotions. This is all part of the feast that the dark is having too. So if we believe everything gullibly, then we are feeding the narrative of the opposite of light. But though we know, I want to bring it online. And the reason for that is because there are new people, new family members coming onto the platform. And for that, I am grateful and thankful. And it will take a long time for them to get through to all the different videos and read the comments and so on. So when I do things online now, remember, I wait for divine instruction, but there are times I throw it out there and say, please, can we move this quicker than it being in the queue? And then, of course, it becomes far too stale of news to pay attention to. So I'm trying to keep up with the currency of what is going on. And with your help, updating me, it, of course, is great help because I am very bad at following anything out there. So I do appreciate that. But again, whatever you do give me and say, please, if you want to read on that or, share something on it, please ensure that it's coming through a legitimate article and not just of another channel creator that is speculating and, of course, creating a video out of their own theory or idea or whatever it is, because that's not the energy we want to feed into. We want to talk about what is real. So I'm happy to do that. But nonetheless, I did read this particular stream out 2 days ago, and I put it out there, and here we are today to touch on it. I have one question only. I have 2 decks out. If I do not get as much in the first deck, then of course I will then ask for more information. So Divine Spirit, Mother, Father, Creator, Supreme and Sovereign, I welcome you. I invite your energy, your presence, your immaculate essence to surround, encapsulate, and protect me, the channel, and everyone listening as you open our hearts and minds to receive your love and blessings and your wisdom. And I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. First deck, as the Ten of Wands, a very strong energy of not seeing the way forward, having difficulty to see the way forward, to make progress. A lot of obstacles in the way, in your path, struggling to carry the weight of something that you are carrying for a long time that is restricting and obviously burdening, and could potentially cause a lot of slip-ups. And so it is burning out energy. It's somebody that's burnt out. It is a source that is now exhausted from being or feeling overburdened by this accumulative energy. And it is a weight on the back, a weight on the shoulder. It is an obstacle blocking the way ahead. Eight of Swords, entrapment, restriction, blindfolded, not being able to move, tied down, not being able to see or forecast. It's restriction and limitations again. And a lot to do with the wands. It is more action. You know, you can't step ahead and get the things done that you wanted to do, right? There's restrictions in actually executing things. So you may have a plan, but you can't action it yet. You're still very restricted with that. With the Eight of Swords, it is a mental restriction. So a lot is going on. You can speak your mind, but nobody's listening. Right? There's nobody actually listening to help you through that. And of course, it's also dealing with, Spirit says, all the slander, the criticism, and the judgment that is surrounding this issue. Right? With the Page of Swords, that is information, news, restlessness, talkative mind, messaging, communication. So that's what we're seeing out there at the moment in terms of media, in terms of articles, in terms of information that is traveling from one place to the next. So be conscious of authenticity, and a lot is coming out in terms of communication. Two of Swords, again, restriction, blindfolded, not seeing ahead, not knowing what lies ahead, having to choose, make decisions. Which decision do I make? What option do I take? What alternative do I take? What would that yield? Right? Let's do one more. Five of Pentacles, begging, begging for help, begging for survival, begging to survive. It feels like the end is upon someone, doesn't have. So it is in a literal sense hunger, but here we're talking in a metaphoric sense of hunger. Hunger for knowledge, hunger for information, hunger to feel satisfied. Something is not satisfying, right? And I might as well. There's the Emperor, the Kingdom. Right, so let me get these cards in a different order so we do not have the entire lot jump out at once like we did before. I just prefer that now that I'm conscious of it, rather get it into the deck and let me shuffle. All right, Divine Mother, Father, Divine Source of Light, what is the truth regarding this article that Catherine, Princess of Wales, is now surrounded by her birth family? So birth family, well, I have the 9 of Wands and the Chariot, right? Birth family is, and at the bottom of that was the 5 of Wands, which is conflict and battle. And of course, this is the world. So this is a global problem, and there is still a lot of conflicting energy about it. It is a fight, a battle. This seems like World War III in a different way. And I say that in a very subtle note, not intending for it, but it is a global war at the moment. But a war in a different way, not how we understand war to be. But of course there are wars going on around the world. But here we're talking about Catherine's issue. So birth family, what is birth family? Birth family are your parents, your siblings. That's your birth family, right? And if you want a little bit of an extension of that, it is your grandparents. And that is your immediate and closest that you can be in the cluster of a birth family, right? Birth family is not even your children. You may birth them, but they're not your birth family. You are now their birth family. So what does it tell you straight away? When I read birth family, you know, it sounded like preparing for the worst case scenario. You know, I've had lots of relatives, including my mom, that passed on in hospital. And when a person gets to a point of being seriously ill, and you know, the medical profession very subtly tell you, you know what, I don't think there's a lot of time, and I think it's best to get as many family members as you can to spend time or visit, or if we can't help any further, rather take the patient home and you know, let them be surrounded by your the family and their loved ones, and you know, go that way. And that's exactly what I felt at the time this sounds to be. Birth family, surrounded by birth family. You know, we understand if you say, or if it was said, that she is in the care of her parents or her and siblings, you know, her closest loved ones, you know, then it sounds different. But here it is an indirect speech of telling us that someone is in their last stages, and you can fill in the blanks, you know. So we have the 9 of Wands. We have the 10 of Wands, and now we have the 9 of Wands. Now the 9 of Wands is a delay, and this speaks of sickness and injury, specifically. Illness, sickness, injury. You see, this individual has blood-stained clothes, right? His cloth is blood-stained, so he's been injured. He's not well. And here it feels like you're telling us that she's holding on to the last thread of life. You know, the last leg of life, the last stick, with everything that she's got. And it's like a test of faith. Now, you know, will a miracle happen or not? That's the message in general you would get, you know. And in ordinary understanding, simple understanding, is a person is at the end of the road, and of course there's not much time. That's the kind of message. The Chariot, that is energy of advancement. So what are they advancing forward? A possibility of a worst case scenario. So is that the truth playing out? Is that what it is? Tell us more, please. Here's the Wall card that we saw earlier. Bringing it out to the world. Right? The Eye of Horus. Let us show the world the truth. Let it be revealed. The world is waiting and watching. And I don't think I'm the only one that has questioned this. There must definitely and most definitely be a lot of channels, a lot of critics that are reading into what I did. And you too. So are they indirectly preparing the world for this announcement now that it has been such a long time? It is tiring, it is exhausting. We saw that with the 10 of Wands. You can't carry this charade, this burden, this storyline, this entire... We wrote a whole book so far. You know, how many more chapters, how many more pages, how many more narratives are we going to script and keep strategizing? It's exhausting. Page of Cups. In a positive way, the Page of Cups is bringing in an offer or some good news, good information, something that will, you know, make you feel content and happy. But for me, what it's showing is it will be a very sensitive and emotional. It is very sensitive and emotional. It's like he runs out of the sea, out of the deep. It's like coming out of the depth. Like whatever was far out at sea, in the water, in the deep, unseen, is now coming to the shore, meaning it's coming out. It will be brought forward. So are we approaching that energy of this coming to come out? You know, and the fish I see here is Catherine in that cup, coming out from the deep to say, okay, here it is. Or a double. They just said to me, or a double. Well, this is not the question, but that's what could potentially happen too. But we know that anyway. So that's what they're contemplating. That's the Two of Swords. They're playing two important storylines at the moment with Catherine is, do we bring a double to quell, to quieten all the speculation and say, see, we asked for quiet time because she needed to, and then we put her out there to say everybody was just beyond their imagination, and here she is, and we keep it like that. And then later on, something else. Is there any other message? Juggling. At the bottom is the Seven of Swords, deception. Right, there's the 7. 7 is July. That is the Death card. Deception over a death. Deception over an ending. They are, well, that's what they're saying. They are juggling these two narratives. Okay, well, I just said that to you, and here's the card. So that's why it is here. Deception, deceiving everybody about a death, an actual death, a real death. And that's the storyline that they're juggling, is do we bring out to replace with that Page of Cups, temporary, right, to quieten everybody so that we could just unburden ourselves for a bit and move ahead with other important matters until such time that possibly takes a turn for the worst. And then all those important events are behind us, which will not affect the morale and the emotions of the populace. And then we can do the announcement, right? This is what is happening. Or do we just go full steam ahead and announce after this message of being surrounded with the birth family? But I feel that if that had to happen, it will only possibly be happening after your UK elections. That is the message I was getting. The elections seems to be something big in your country, as it is everywhere in the world, but they do not want that disrupted. See, that is the crossroad here, is that particular campaign. I will leave this here as part of the reading. Let us go to the second deck. I have Death, new opportunities, waiting for something to come in. Waiting, when I say waiting for something to come in, right? Whatever's being planned, they're waiting for that to expand. Right? They're waiting to clarify it and get surety and confirmation on it. Then to wheel, to possibly announce it. Wheel is world, it is information, it is cycles. And I'll do one more, the Five of Wands again. So again, it's conflicting energy, right? It is them struggling with this decision, struggling to make this their minds up. But again, here's the Death card, right? Here's the Death card. Is there any other message? I asked, what is the truth surrounding this headline of Catherine in reverse is the Wheel of Fortune. The deck is in the upright, but the Wheel of Fortune has flipped over. So this is now misfortune. It's unfortunate. So this is not the truth. It is not authentic. It is a very unfortunate situation for a possible announcement, right? But the timeline is not yet certain. There's a lot riding on. If we do it now, then they cannot go ahead with their diary events. But I noted that a few days ago when I looked, I did see some events up for the king, and I see they're no longer on the royal diary. It's been taken out or off or deleted, and there's nothing for the king, queen and William. Well, there's nothing for Catherine, but not even William. So we're in for some surprise. Can you please expand on the very same question? What is the truth surrounding the message? 5 of Cups, depression, mourning, sadness, loneliness, sorrow. And what brings that type of energy at a level? And we're looking at the ocean behind us again. Right? Yes, it's cups, it's water, but it's showing you how big it is. It's a massive emotional energy. And the ocean is running throughout the world. When I say running, meaning it is an energy that surrounds the planet and everything between it. The Knight of Swords. Quick, quick, quick. Something's happening. Quick, quick, quick. Something is being fastening, picking up pace. Haste. Swift. Agility. Very quick progress. Not just mentally, as in thinking quick and making sudden decisions and changes, which of course is, but it is also action. Flying high. This could also mean movement, traveling, but traveling where? Moving where? If she's surrounded by her birth parents, then she can't be flying anywhere. And the flying is not a local fly. You know, the bird is not flying on low ground locally. It's up in the air, in the thicket of rain clouds, thicket of a storm that's brewing. You can see this is a storm brewing. Grey skies, gloom, doom, glum, grey. There's no colour and life and light and energy and vitality here. It just looks very medieval and feels medieval. Strength, well, strength and the 8 of Swords again. Entrapment. Right, so here's the rain clouds, and here comes the rain. Now we do know this card plays up a lot for Catherine. as well as the Ten of Swords. So what is the rain representing? Tears. Sadness, sorrow, grief, tears. Tears of the world with the wheel. And I suppose everybody will need an enormous amount of strength. That's number 8 energy, Leo energy. Leo energy, that's part 7th and 8th month energy. Leos are the I think 22nd, 23rd July to either 21st or 22nd of August. So let's pay attention for announcements during June, July and August. Anything else, Spirit? King of Coins. Well, this is Harry's card. And the Leo energy is Meghan. Harry and Meghan. But I'm not reading it here as them, although I'm getting a feeling of their energy. And what I'm looking at now is a half a heart. Will they be coming to the UK? Maybe not together. Will Harry need strength to come to the UK? As in mental strength, physical strength to come to the UK? It's a possibility. Give me one more. What is the King of Coins here for? Why is the King of Coins here? Ace of Swords. And at the bottom is the Hierophant. That's the institution, the palace, the kingdom. Well, this is about information, a breakthrough of information, something that will have to pierce the veil that is blocking truth or information from now coming in or streaming in, right? So this is information, but it's coming from the palace. Clearly we know that. So does that mean that he will be requested to come to the UK? I'm not getting a yes or no, and simply because that's in the works. When Spirit stays very neutral, then it's either there is a possibility that he could be called into the UK. For what? We cannot say for sure. It could be for many things. I don't know if Trooping of the Colours is going ahead. I know that's a very big balcony event for the royal family. I do not know if he was there in previous years since he left to live in the US. Maybe there will be an exception this year to call him in for the event on a pretense of the event, but of course to discuss something else. Or we do know that from previous readings they are trying to get him into the UK. For whatever their reasons are, and we continue to protect him. I have done protection over him and his family, over the royal children, and of course for Prince William as well. If you have not and you want to participate, please do listen out and of course hold that vision for everyone. And I very soon will be doing a reading on, a visualization to take the light into the entire system itself, meaning all the palaces, right? All the entire kingdom as a collective energy. So I would like you to join me for that, so we can rinse clean a lot of what is happening to help thin out and let the light shine in and through. Beautiful hearts, here we have it. I didn't expect it to go on for long because I knew the answer. But as always, it's nice to see how the divine brings information through to give us clarity, and the cards is a medium with pictures so that you can see what is being expressed. I can sit here and channel it without pulling a card, and you might not take my word for it. But here it is in color, showing you what is happening, what we've been talking about for a long time. But of course you might think that it is repetition, but when is life not repeated? When we do not learn the lesson, the lessons have not been learned, so it will constantly repeat itself. But every day we're getting closer, and that's the difference. And it also gives you validation that messages before are being validated by future ones, and continually validating the ones that we have read from before that. Togetherness in kindness, our happiness and Earth's wellness, our cosmic oneness, this beautiful planet, and divine foreverness. May we make the loudest noise and rejoice in light and bright. I love you, I thank you, and bless you. Till next.